Okay, I've tried this is like my 5th take on this for Dilara, and I'm getting hoarse. I love you. If I die before I see you, I want you to have my ukulele. Okay. I'm determined I'm going to try to get this recorded before I go to bed. So, and I am getting a little bit hoarse because I've been singing it and messing it up. Okay. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome some. I'm not gonna do this over again. We're stuck with this one. We shall overcome someday. All right. We will live in peace. We will live in peace. We will live in peace. We will live in peace someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. I haven't been practicing all that long. What do you expect? We will live in peace. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Truth will set us free. Truth will set us free. Truth will set us free. Truth will set us free someday. There we go. Sorry. Let's start that one over again. Truth will set us free. Truth will set us free. Truth will set us free someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We are not afraid. Did we do that one yet? Because we're not afraid. We are not afraid. So if I'm singing it twice, good. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid today. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. So that's the best I can do. I've played it like 6 times, and I keep dropping my pick or doing something wrong. And I just want to tell you real quick, Noah got a bow and arrow the other day. He got 6 arrows and a bow, a great big long bow. And so he's doing archery, and I'm jealous, and you will be too, I think. But it's funny because I think he's getting annoyed because I'm copying everything he does. And I think it started with bowling, and I'm sorry you didn't get to bowl with us over the summer, because we were really looking forward to that. And the last time I saw you, we planned on going bowling that weekend, and your dad wouldn't let it happen. So I hope I get to go bowling with you before I die. So I thought it would be something I could do with Noah. So we bowled all summer, and that's another thing is what I've been doing since I've been away from you. Right now, this is January. What day is this? 8th, 7th, 8th, and Noah's been getting a lot of my attention. And, when I look, well, what's the good thing about this is I wouldn't trade. I wouldn't have chosen to have your dad keep you all the time just so I can give Noah more undivided attention, because, we're a family, and families, you have to share. Everybody's got to, there's one mom, all the kids have to share the mom, and take turns getting the attention, even if you're all together. Sometimes one person gets, most of the attention some of the time. So, and that's good. When I had Callie and Noah, we're almost always together at the same time. Unless, like, when I took Noah camping, we were in Boy Scouts. And, but, it's good to do things as a family. But, you would have had fun bowling with us. But, I got all excited about bowling. And I did buy some shoes, bowling shoes, because we had 2 free games all summer. Every day we could go bowl 2 games, and we went probably 3 times a week. And then you have to rent your shoes. They let you bowl 2 free games, but you have to have bowling shoes, and if you don't have your own, you have to rent them. So it was cheaper for me to just buy some than to keep renting them. So I've got my own bowling shoes. And Noah, he got shoes and a ball and a bag to carry it in. And his dad got him another bowling ball for Christmas. So he's got 2 bowling balls. And we found another bag at the thrift store. So you can buy bowling bags that could hold 2 or 3 balls. Well, and sometimes they're pretty heavy. The most I've seen is a bag that carries 3 balls. And they're kind of like a rolling backpack. And but right now he's got two balls. He's got a 14-pound ball and a 12-pound ball. And 14 pounds, when you were a baby and you were 14 pounds, I guess I was used to carrying you, and now I'm not used to carrying 14 pounds around, and his bowling ball feels really heavy. But that's something that Noah and I we did together. And then he got a ukulele. He got a red ukulele, and I got so excited about it. And you know how sometimes I get things stuck in my head. And I just like focus on it. I'm like, oh, ukulele. So I'm like, it's not really obsession. That's the word. Was like when you get stuck on something, and all you want to talk about is that one thing. That's kind of, some people call that being obsessed with something, and it actually, if you're really obsessed, you're really sick. And if you're just excited about something, that's sometimes people, it's obsessed in quotation marks. But anyway, so people say that, like, oh, you're obsessed with this or you're obsessed with that, and you can be really annoying when all you want to talk about is the one thing that you're excited about. And a lot of people are like football season and stuff, and if you're around people who like football and everybody likes, everybody's obsessed with football, then that's fine. But Noah, I kept learning new things about the ukulele and asking him questions, and every day I'm like, well, how many chords have you learned, and what about this and what about that? And he just got so sick of me, just all the time. And I talk about you all the time. I think he's tired of hearing about, what's going on in court, and but it's on my mind, and if it's on my mind, it's going to come out of my mouth, and it needs to, because I think you should talk about what you're thinking about, and I hope you are. I hope you've got. I hope during this time you're with your dad, I hope he's been trying to listen to you more and talk to you more, and because you've lost me, so he can't really replace me, because you still need both parents. But I hope he's giving you a lot of attention. I know you're staying busy, but anyway, back to Noah's arrow and stuff. I told him I want to get an arrow too, and he's like, no. And I'm like, well, I don't have to do it with you, because sometimes teenagers, they don't want their mom doing all their stuff with them, and it's when he was a Boy Scout and we went camping, and well, when you're little, you've got to have your mom with you, but when you're a teenager, you don't, you sort of, you're pulling away from your mom, and that's okay. You're supposed to do that. If you're just always, too scared to do anything by yourself, that's not good. So I tried to raise all three of you to be pretty independent and confident, and I know he's got a lot of friends. He's been doing bowling. He's been really busy with school, and he's doing really well. He's still got another year of high school left, and he's taking 4 college level courses. And at his school, they say, well, we recommend that you don't take more than 2 college level classes. And I told Noah that. I said, did you know they recommend that you only take 2? And he's like, yeah. And I said, well, why are you taking 4? And he said, because I can. And I'm like, okay, good, because that's a way to save money, because if you've already taken your college level classes before you go to, because you get, it's like you could count it twice. You can count it for your high school credit, and then you can count it for your college credit too. And the more credit hours and for classes that you have when you go to college, the cheaper you can finish college, and the faster you can finish it. So I think Callie had taken 7 classes before she went to Vanderbilt. She had 7 AP classes, and so Noah had 1 last year, and he's got 4 this year. So he'll probably take 3 or 4 next year. Well, if he took 4 this year, he'll probably take 4 next year, and then he'll go to college with 8. And if she only had 7 and he's got 8, then he'll feel like he beat her at something. But so Noah and I, we've been having a good time, but we miss you. Everybody misses you, and people at church miss you, and Reed and Hadley and Chloe and Autumn and everybody misses you. All the grown-ups miss you, and we're hoping your dad will be nicer. You know, this is it's been so long. It's been way too long, and so I guess that's it. And I do like my ukulele, and ukulele and church, and doing stuff with Noah and working on court. You know, I've been pretty busy, but I wouldn't have to do court if you were here, and I'd rather be doing homeschool with you. And next year, Noah's probably going to have a car, and it's probably going to be like Callie after she got a car. We won't see her. We won't see him as much, and he's talking about going to college out of state. So I told him, I said, well, if you go to Minnesota or Indiana or Utah, or I think those are the places he's talking about. I said, well, if you do that, you're going to have to keep in touch with us, and you're going to have to Skype with us so we can see your face and talk to you, and you know, and anybody's only a phone call away, except you're not. I can't call you. That's why I haven't called you, and I hope you understand that you haven't heard from me, not because I don't want to send you a letter or see this. You can't even see this till after the order protection's done, or else I die. So if I die, I'm telling everybody, if I die, make sure Dilara sees me on YouTube on the video. And I don't plan on dying, but you never know. And you know, you could get in a car wreck, people fall down. I just read another story. I heard a story about a woman who tripped over a dog. She had a little dog, and I think she was talking to a neighbor or somebody, and a leash got tangled around her legs, and she fell. She hit her head and had a brain injury, and I don't think it killed her right away, but it damaged her brain, and she died from it. And I heard, I think it was Ava Gabor. She was on Green Acres. I don't know if you watched Green Acres with me or not. And her sister tripped over her little dog and fell down the stairs and hurt her head. And I think she had a stroke or something. So she didn't die, but she had problems after that. And you just don't ever know. And the Bible says, you know, people have all these plans, and you should say, well, I'll do this and this and this if God wills. And I think the Turkish people say, or Muslim people, they say, Inshallah, and that means, I think it means like, if God wills, or God willing, because you don't know. You don't know what God's got planned for you. And I sure didn't expect my life to go the way it's gone, and your life to go the way it's gone. And we'll just have to see how it turns out on the other side. But I hope you know I love you, and every day, all day, and Midge misses you, dogs miss you, chickens miss you, and your friends miss you, and just have to So you, like I keep saying, you're not going to see this until either you see me or until I die. But I just wanted, wanted to just kind of document what's been going on, and I just want to make sure you always know I love you, and I hope I see you real soon, and I'll learn another song, and maybe I can play it better than this one, but I really do wish you would get a ukulele. I really think this is one of the best instruments in the world you can learn to play, and I think it's easier than the violin. I think it's easier than the piano. I think it's probably easier than a harmonica. I never could do the harmonica, but Hadley's dad at church, he said that 4th and 5th graders, when he was teaching music, would do the ukulele, and then when they're 6th graders, they do the guitar. And he said it's really good. It's kind of, because he said this is a good bridge to playing guitar, and of course I tried to play guitar back when I first got married, 30, how long has it been? Almost 30 years. And it just didn't work. But it makes sense that this would be good. I think your chords are different, and you've got 6 strings on a guitar. But I'm getting calluses on my fingers already. I mean, my fingers, it's like they don't really hurt, but they're numb, but I can touch them and I can feel, yeah, they're getting calluses, and that's what you need, because then it doesn't hurt. And I had to cut my fingernails really short, because you gotta press like straight down on the strings, and you can't really do it, because you don't have a whole lot of room, and so you need, and with piano it's better to have short nails too. But so if you did this first and play guitar or ukulele for a couple of years, and then you want to play guitar, you already have calluses on your fingers, so it won't hurt. And then you've got your fingers should be strong, because and when you make these chords, and I can't, sometimes there's a song and I can't make the chord, so I might just do part of the chord and just play like there was some song I was playing, and you're supposed to like mash down on 3 keys, and then way down here mash on this other one. I'm like, my fingers aren't going to stretch that far, so I just played the bottom 3 strings, and it's, as I get better and my fingers get used to going in unnatural positions. Callie said ukulele, because she used to want a ukulele, and she must have tried it and liked the guitar better, because she told me that ukulele makes her hands cramp up. But I love it. There's nothing about the ukulele that I found that I don't like, and I found a really neat. It's Riff, RIFF Station, Riff. I think it's Riff Station, and it's a website, and you can search in the box mini beer kush don mish. That's in there, and it'll pull up the YouTube video, and it's the neatest thing, because it'll play the video, and then over on the side it'll play the chords. The only thing wrong with it is, it'll show you what strings, and but like this. See, this tells you which finger to press down on, and some chord charts, like the one on that website, I think I only printed out ones that told you which finger to use, because I needed that extra help. But the one on that, I think it's Riff Station. It just says, well, these are the strings. These are the strings you're pressing down, and I really need to know which finger you're supposed to use. but there's lots of chords, and the one thing I'm trying to do is this. It's called a bar chord, and you got to mash down all 4 of the strings. I think I might could do it this way. I don't even know if I'm pressing them all down. I kind of don't think I am. This is nothing. Oh, and let me show you. Well, I don't know what I did with my tuner, but there's a. I'll show you that. I'll show you that another time. But it's so cool because if you get if you get a ukulele, and Callie could tell you this, you can you clip it here, and it's got a light on it, and then it helps you. It's so easy. You can do this. You can do it. And I like to use a pick. No, it does not use a pick. And there's different ways to strum, and I haven't really gotten anything fancy, fancy strumming pattern. And then you could do really nice finger picking. And I can't remember what his name is. It's Josh. I think his last name is SCHU something, and Japanese name or something like that. But he is pretty famous. I just heard about him lately, but he's got some YouTube videos, and he talks about there was a TED talk. There's like a 15-minute talk, and he's talking about ukulele, and I was like, oh yeah, this area is just so wonderful. It was really good, and he must have been playing for a long time. I think he did start playing when he was a child, and he's just, what he does with a ukulele is amazing. But it's not something I don't want to be that great. I just want to be able to sing with my kids, and sing. Next year I want to be able to sing Christmas songs with the ukulele, and if we ever have we can have a campfire in the backyard, and sit around the campfire and sing, and that would be so nice. I meant for us to, this past summer, one of the things I wanted to do is go camping and do some campcraft type things, and because I was a Girl Scout, and I loved camping. Camping was like so nice, and I knew you were excited about it. We were looking forward to that, but your dad had other plans for you, so hopefully I'll get another turn, and maybe this summer we can do that. But yeah, so Noah's not going to want me doing archery with him. He might want to do it by himself, or he might want to do it with his friends, but it's a good thing. I'm really glad he's doing that, because for a long time he didn't seem like he was interested in much of anything, but it's good to have a hobby, and I know that you love all kinds of things, and you're interested in all kinds of things. And but the really neat thing about archery is there's videos on YouTube, and you can make your own bow, and you can make your own arrows, and you can get feathers and the fletching on the end of an arrow, and you can put those on, and they sell like tools at the place at the Noah got his bow at Bass Pro Shop, and I don't know if you remember going there. I know you went there when you were a baby. I don't think I took you after the flood of 2010 when Opry Mills Mall got flooded, but I think you've been there with your dad at some point since then. But they've got a section, that place is huge, but they've got a section called Archery Den. No, it's not. What did I say, den? Archery Den is, Archery Den is the place we saw on TV that's down in Franklin, and they give archery lessons and stuff. It's the Archery Pro Shop at Opry Mills Mall, and pro is like professional, but you don't have to be a professional. I don't know why they call it that. But the bowling alley has a bowling pro shop, and that's where Noah got his ball. And I wish you could have seen it because it was really neat. Because at first the ball is just doesn't have any holes in it, and he has to measure for your fingers. I did have some pictures when he was measuring for Noah's fingers, because everybody's got, you know, different distances in their fingers, and then their finger different. You know, some people have fat fingers and some people have skinny fingers, and so if you get a custom fitted ball, it's just for you, just for your hand, and then they drill. They got a drill, and they push. It's like my dad used to have all kinds of woodworking things. My dad could do anything. I hope we can go to Texas and see him. But when we were growing up, he did everything. He could fix anything, and if he doesn't know how to fix it, he'll make something up. And he's creative like you are, and he's an artist, and but he had different kind of tools and wood shop, and he could weld. He could work with metal. Oh, he still can. But I remember he would have torches, and he'd have these 2 big gas tanks. I'm not sure it was in them. What kind of gases were in them? Acetylene or something. But there was 2 tanks, and they had hoses off of them. And then he had this little. He'd have to have a mask on to keep this. There'd be sparks sometimes when you worked with the metal, and he would have this little thing, and you squeeze it, and it would make a spark. And then because he'd have the thing where you would the gas is what would burn. So and it was like a little, I don't know, a little handle of something where the gas came out, and then you spark it, and then it catches on fire, and then it would have the fire coming out, and that you could give it a lot of gas, and a lot of fire would come out, or you can give it a little bit, and a little bit of fire would come out. And it was just really interesting to watch him do that. And Todd, they used to teach boys in school how to do all these things, and sometimes girls would take shop, and sometimes boys would take home ec. And home ec was, I don't think they teach home ec in school anymore, but you'd learn about cooking and sewing and doing all kinds of nice housewifey things, which I just loved. And then the boys typically would do shop and learn how to work with all kinds of different tools. And Todd went to when he was in high school at Culleoka, he went to Future Farmers of America, ag. He had agriculture, you know, like farming stuff. And the boys, they still have Future Farmers of America. We probably saw them at the fair when you went to the fair with us last time. But they would have their blue corduroy jackets, and there's Future Farmers of America, and farmers are really important. And you're a little bit of a farmer when you're a gardener, and you've got chickens, and so you're kind of a little bit. Well, you're a little bit of a farmer when you're with me, and I don't even know why I was talking about that, but it's good for you to know that in case I die before I see you. Going to see Dad, is that what I was talking about? Wood. What was I don't know what I was saying, but yeah, I really enjoyed watching Dad work with. You can't get too close, when he's welding, but he could he can fix cars. Oh, that's another thing I've done since you've been gone is last weekend Todd and I worked on our car, and my battery needed to be replaced. My dad got me a battery, and then the alternator. Cars have alternators, and everybody knows it charges your battery up when you're driving. And my battery was running down when it was driving, so my alternator needed to be fixed. And Todd came out. It took us. There was a YouTube video on replacing your alternator, and I wrote the guy who did it, and I said, well, how long will this take? And he said 30 minutes to an hour. It took Todd and I 4 hours to do it, but that's okay. And if you had been here with us, you would have enjoyed it, because you've helped me do stuff on the car before. When we replaced that fan blower motor, when our heater wasn't working, it wasn't blowing that fan, and you helped me fix that. And I'm glad that you're very hands-on, and you like to see how things work, and you like to do things, and you like to do things for yourself. And that's good, because when you can do things for yourself, then that makes you more useful to other people, and then maybe you can help somebody. Like I was thinking, okay, now I can't replace the alternator by myself. Todd had to, there's a belt, and it's really, really tight, and you've got to, and it turns gears and stuff, and you have to push on this thing really hard and to get the belt off. And Todd was pushing on it, and you just have to do it for a minute, but he was like pushing on it really hard, and I slipped the belt off, and then took the alternator, and we had to go to the store. We didn't have the right tools or whatever, so that 4 hours included 2 trips to the car place and a trip to Walmart. But now I know how to do it, and I know I need somebody strong. But I was thinking, well, it's good that I did that, because if somebody I know doesn't have money to go to, because it cost, it would have cost $150 or $200 more if I'd had somebody else put it in. I just had to buy the part, and I can't remember what. I think we went to the store and got some things we ended up not needing. We thought we needed what we didn't. No, we did need. We got a breaker bar for the to help push on that thing that was holding the belt tight, and then when the only problem was we had to unplug this thing, and I think it was where the battery plugs. There's a wire, and it plugs into the alternator, and it was kind of like a lamp plug or something, plugging into the holes in the alternator, and it was stuck, and we couldn't. And it took so long to get it out, and we finally got it out, and actually, I think that was part of the alternator, because when we got the new alternator, we had a new one of those things. I'm not sure what it was, but when we got everything unhooked from it, we took the belt off the end, and there was like 4 screws or something, bolts or something, and then it is not that heavy, but he tried to pick it up, and it wouldn't come out. And he's like, why won't it come out? And I'm like, well, it must still be screwed into something. And he said, no, because it dropped down a little bit, and he could like pivot it a little bit, but he couldn't lift it up. And then I went back to the computer, and I was like, okay, I Google like alternators stuck and won't come out. And the next door neighbors had a crowbar, and we pried it up. So and that wasn't in the directions on the YouTube video that it might be stuck, and you might need to get a crowbar. And I was glad Todd's got a crowbar at his house, but I was glad that the neighbors had one. So that was one thing we did. And What else? I guess that's all. So this is getting to be, this isn't as long as the one I did for you the other time, but yeah, it's long enough. Okay, I did my song. Why don't you look at my ukulele? Let's see. Isn't that pretty? Pretty ukulele. And I'll try to. I've sung that song for you twice, and I'll try to learn some different ones. I think it was the Mini Mini Bierkisch song, and I thought, oh, that's pretty easy. Maybe that's one Dilara can do when she gets a ukulele. But it's fun. And Callie's told me that you said that first grade was really easy, and that's good in a way, and it's not good in a way because, you know, if you're bored with it, you're not being challenged. I know that's not much fun, but she said you were working on your foreign language and you were working on math over Christmas break, and I'm like, yeah, good. Yeah, she needs to. I'm glad you can talk to Callie. I wish you had a phone and you could call her, but she said you've got on your tablet you're sending her pictures or something. So I know you're. And I sent an email to your teacher, check on you, and she said you had a good first week back from Christmas break, and she said you had talked about Callie and how much you enjoyed spending time with her, and I think Callie kept you all to herself. I wish she'd got to spend more time with Todd and Noah. But and I went to see Aunt Elizabeth, and she misses you, and I hope I see you soon, but I'm sure I'll do another video. And even when, and I've been watching videos of you over again. I watched something the other day, and I'm like, I forgot about this one. When did she do this? And it was good. I'm glad I've got all those videos of you, and the video of you when you gave Elsa a bath, and I got these videos, and I said, and we just kept filming it like I'm doing this, go on and on and on, and I'm like, well, nobody's gonna want to watch that. It's so long, of course, but I want to watch it, and you want to watch it, and your kids want to watch it, and who cares if anybody else watches it, because it's really for us anyway. And so I've been watching your videos and missing you, and I don't know if I told you, because in the one where you gave Elsa a bath, and we thought she was a leghorn. She's not a leghorn. I don't know what she is, but she's got feathers on her cheeks. She's got poofy, like, earmuffs, and that's not, leghorns don't have that. I think I don't know my chicken breeds, but that's not a leghorn, and the chickens are not laying eggs, and I don't understand that unless I know some chickens. When Dave and I lived out in the country, we had white Plymouth Rocks. That was the name of the breed. And we had Rhode Island Reds. And they laid all in the winter. And people say, oh, they won't lay eggs in the winter. But they did. And I don't even think they dropped off. And but some you need to get a chart, and they'll say, well, this breed gives this an average of this many eggs, and some of them lay a whole lot more than other ones. And I want the breeds of chickens that lay a lot of eggs, and then I want one chicken that lays colored eggs. But yeah, so I'm just kind of disappointed. But if they're not laying because the days are short, or if it's too cold, I think the reason they don't lay in the winter is I think they think it's the length of the day. And somebody says, well, if you put a light in their coop or something, then that might fool them. But I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to wait and see, because days are already starting to get longer. But they should have been laying in September or October, and here we're in January. And at first I thought, well, maybe they're laying, because I would let them run around the yard. And I'm like, well, maybe they're laying them out in the grass or somewhere. And I've not found any, not one egg. And Susan, my sister Susan in Texas, they're getting like a dozen eggs every other day. They're like every 2 days. I think they've got like nine chickens, or 8 or 9 chickens, and that's good. And one of my friends, when we went to I think when we went to that to the Tennessee Agricultural Museum, and they did that program on the first farmers where you cracked those nuts and you saw the furs, and I got pictures. I got pictures of what else, but I think that's where you met her daughter. It's homeschool field trip, and they moved to Dixon, which is kind of a not terribly too far, but they've got a farm, and they got a turkey, an old. I think they got a girl turkey and a boy turkey, and I think they ate the boy turkey, but they're going to get another one in the fall, and or in the spring, but they bought a bunch of baby chicks. They got like a whole bunch, like 50 or 30 or 50, and they're butchering their own chickens and stuff. And when David and I lived out in the country, the dogs killed wild dogs, not wild, but dogs that were not staying at home, and they would run around the neighborhoods and chase cows and kill chickens, and then our dogs. We never had a dog that would not chase and kill a chicken, and David would get so mad, and I would get so mad, and then we'd I don't know how you train a dog to not kill chickens, but ours, they would, they all love, the dogs love chasing anything that will run away from them. They love chasing. So we ate rabbits. David, we had 3 female rabbits that would have babies, and we had 1 male rabbit, so we could have babies with the females. And so they'd have baby rabbits, and then when they got to a good size, not too big, because if they get too big, they're not as good to eat, the younger ones. But rabbit meat was really good. I sort of don't like the idea of eating any kind of meat, but Callie and we had white New Zealand rabbits, or New Zealand white rabbits, I think is what they call them. And I used to have pet rabbits, white rabbits. And Shania and Sharo got rabbits. They when I went to see them a couple of weeks ago, and they miss you really bad. But they got some pet rabbits. But my friend in Dixon, they got a bunch of chicks, little baby chicks, and then when they were 3 or 4 months old, they killed it. They like took a day, and they killed all of them and butchered them, and they got some kind of machine that plucks them, and because if you're doing a whole bunch of them, then that's what it just does it quicker. But I never butchered a chicken, and I've got a cookbook. I think it's a Joy of Cooking cookbook, and I think it was written 40s or 50s or something, and it talks about does it talk about butchering the chicken? I think it does, but people used to, I guess, in some places, like we were in Germany, David and I were in Germany, and there would be a truck that would come around, and he had all kinds of stuff on the truck, and sometimes they'd have chickens, and so people would get a fresh chicken, and they'd kill it. But I never did that. I just told David, I said, bring me a piece of meat ready to cook, and I'll cook it and I'll eat it. But I don't want to do the killing and the. I can do fish. I can like fillet a fish, but mammals or birds are just. I just like the eggs from our chickens in the country, but our, I told her, I said, well, when I get Dilara back, we're gonna come see your farm. And she got a great big red barn, and she's got chickens and turkey, and I think she's fixing to get pigs, some kind of special breed of pigs. She likes getting the old heirloom, the really old breeds of animals, and heritage breeds. Heritage? I think that's what they call them. And I'm still trying to find somebody with a cow you could milk, because I remember when we went to the fair about a year and a half ago, you were just so fascinated with the dairy cows, and I just don't know anybody with a cow you can milk. So I told them, I said, well, if you get a cow or even a goat, you can milk goats. But I'm glad you like animals, and you like a lot of the same things I like. But maybe that's part of why you like them, is because I like them, and not kids don't always like what their parents like, and then sometimes you grow out of things. You might be interested in one thing, and then you get older, and then you're not that interested in it. But I still want bees. I still want to get bees sometime. And I think if I get bees, if I got chickens and I've got bees, I think that's probably, and then get my garden going. I did not enjoy much of anything after you were gone. I had so much work trying to get you back, and but when you come back, we garden together, and we'll plant some more basil and make pasta with pesto. That was one of the last meals you had with me, if you remember. We went out in the garden, and we picked a bunch of basil, and we made homemade pasta with my pasta machine. I got it at the thrift store, and you made this giant plate of pasta with pesto, and you ate the whole thing, and you wanted more, so I had to crank it up and make you some more. And that was one of your favorite, really, one of your favorite meals or foods is pasta with pesto. And it is nice to be able to go out in your garden and get something fresh and eat it right there, minutes after you pick it. And I hope we get to do that again someday soon. I'm going to turn this off. It's almost an hour long, and I rambled a lot, but that's just me. You're used to it. So I love you, and I can't wait to get you back, and I'm going to go to bed. I hope I see you. I hope I see you pretty soon. Love you.